Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. We now stand 10 years past the midpoint of a century that has witnessed 4 major wars among great nations. Until the latest of our world conflicts, the United States had no armaments industry. American makers of plowshares could, with time and as required, make swords as well. But we can no longer risk emergency improvisation of national defense. We have been compelled to create a permanent armaments industry of vast proportions. Added to this, 3.5 million men and women are directly engaged in the defense establishment. Now, this conjunction of an immense military establishment and a large arms industry is new in the American experience. The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. We recognize the imperative need for this development, yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.
0, 0, 0, 9 or 8.
Why, some say the moon.
0, 0,
Why
5,
choose
7,
this
2.
as our goal? And they may well ask,
Plus,
why
0,
climb the
0,
highest
0,
mountain?
8, 5.
Why 35 years ago?
0, 0,
Fly the Atlantic?
7, 6, 4.
Why does Rice play Texas?
0,
We
3,
choose
0,
to go to the moon.
0,
We
0,
choose to
0.
go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too. We shall send to the moon 240,000 miles away from the control station in Houston, a giant rocket more than 300 feet tall, the length of this football field, made of new metal alloys, some of which have not yet been invented, capable of standing heat and stresses several times more than have ever been experienced, fitted together with a precision better than the finest watch, carrying all the equipment needed for propulsion, guidance, control, communications, food, and survival on an untried mission to an unknown celestial body, and then return it safely to Earth, re-entering the atmosphere at speeds of over 25,000 miles per hour, causing heat about half that on the temperature of the sun, almost as hot as it is here today, and do all this, and do all this, and do it right, and do it first before this decade is out, then we must be bold.
And the data thus gained contributed significantly to the successful flights of Alan Shepard, John Glenn, and their successors. Over the years, the work of the Aeromedical Research Laboratory has broadened and increased, becoming more and more sophisticated as we move deeper into new fields of science and space exploration.
With the successful completion of Project Mercury, the laboratory examined how it might best utilize its assets in meeting Air Force and Department of Defense goals. Our chimpanzee colony was fast becoming the world's largest. Our DAISY decelerator and the associated tools in the field of acceleration research were unique. The comparative psychology group had gained valuable experience working with spaceflight problems. With these assets, it seemed logical that we should specialize in the study of high-risk operational situations prior to exposing man to them. Animal surrogates would be used to obtain data that would be meaningful in evaluating the danger to man. And in addition, our chimpanzee colony was a resource of great value in medical research. Accordingly, we launched a program of experimental medicine that included a comprehensive study of heterotransplantation, simian and human blood groups, and infectious diseases. New blood groups have been discovered, and genetic differences have been shown in human white blood cells and platelets. A detailed study of the functions of the primate brain is now underway. Our goal is to contribute substantially to the military medical mission by making man's journey into space a safer one, and at the same time, to aid in the advancement of human and veterinary medical research.